everyone, I'm Rachel with Adventurous Heart, and I just had the chance to do something really cool. I had the chance to fly in a helicopter. Yes, in this helicopter right there. Phil is now in it, getting the experience of what a helicopter is like. But I had the chance to be able to go and fly in it, and it was amazing. And so let me show you a couple clips of being able to fly a helicopter. So hopefully you're as pumped as I was when I had a chance to be able to do that. At first, I'll admit, I was pretty nervous because I'd never been in a helicopter before. But Phil, he was super excited. As you all know, he has his own plane, a Yak 52 that he takes me flying in. So my comfort level is getting a little bit better. The first time that he ever took me in an airplane was our Valentine's Day gift. Yes, what a sweetie. So he took me out for Valentine's Day as an experimental helicopter ride, and by the time I was done, my hands were shaking and I was just ready to go take a nap. It was so much to be able to unpack. It was a really cool experience. Well, for me, at least, once I got it all figured out. To be honest though, it was a little intense because it was a windy day that day. I knew nothing about flying an airplane, and they gave me the controls. My hands were shaking, and the pilot may have asked Phil if he felt like he was on a ride at an amusement park because I was letting the plane go up and down. I had no sense of control. Fast forward many years later, Phil got his plane, following the adventure in his heart, and for our anniversary this year, our 12-year wedding anniversary, he decided to give me a helicopter ride. So we went up and the guy said, hey, you can go ahead and take the controls over, to which I said, maybe I'll just enjoy the ride. But I tell you, he let me take the controls over, and it was really cool. Now, I don't remember all the aspects, but I was able to get the feet, I was able to hover one piece at a time.
There's Rachel getting her first helicopter lesson. Wasn't familiar with the controls at all prior to today, but we have an instructor taking turns flying the helicopter here. So she may have the controls. We'll check with her later to see how things are going. But basically we have dual controls, instructors in there mirroring everything, making sure everything's good. So we'll check in with her here in a little bit.
The great thing about learning how to fly a helicopter is that first of all, the person who was teaching us was super cool. So thank you for taking the time to be able to do this. And he, because he knows we come from an airplane background, and we're not quite ready to do some flips and stuff that an airplane can do, he said, I got some helicopter tricks. So first trick, going backwards. Airplanes can't do that. Second trick, being able to land in one exact spot, which is what Phil and them are doing right now. They picked a one on the runway and they're trying to hover right over it. Third trick a helicopter can do that an airplane can't do is to stop midair. And so those are a couple of things he was showing us before he takes us over to the other side of the field where he lets us take over the controls and try to hover. And let me tell you, at first, it is not easy and it's rather frustrating, but slowly you get the feet figured out, and then, because I'm still new to this, the lever in the middle, which name I don't remember right now, and then the handle in front. The handle in front is very difficult. And I know everyone who knows helicopters is laughing at me right now, but that's how new I am to helicopters. But I have a brand new appreciation, and I love that the doors are off because it feels like you're in a little convertible going through the sky. So much so that I, being the adventurous type, loved hanging out the side of it as we were flying through, and Phil got this fun little video of me. So when Phil was a kid, he had the opportunity to fly in a helicopter. One of his relatives had a small plane like this. So he's been super pumped to be able to get back into one. And now he's going to be able to take over the controls. Let's see how he does compared to me. We'll have to get the true results from the instructor. So it looks like Phil has the controls. He's trying to hover in one spot, keeping the nose facing a tree. He has his feet on the rudder pedals. And it's hard to try to figure it out at first. You have to put the right amount of pressure on it, and you push on the right rudder pedal to move the helicopter right, left to go left. But what I learned is there's a pretty stiff headwind today, so the helicopter is starts to turn, you have to put a lot more left rudder because the wind picks you up as you go sideways. So the instructor's getting it set again. When he has it set at a good direction and hover, he's going to let Phil take over the controls. There you go, Nate. There you go. Alright, so reset. Let's see how it goes. It was great. I told the instructor, I don't know if I'm going to want to put my hands on the controls. I'll probably be just fine to go for a ride. He said, we'll see. He was right. It was a fun challenge that I just wanted to keep conquering. There may be a future time to go do this. Uh-oh, that's a squirrely helicopter. We have some fixing to do. That's better. So if flying a helicopter ever becomes an adventure that you want to follow in your heart, a couple key things to keep in mind first. One, there are two very, very fast spinning things on a helicopter, one on top and one on the tail. So make sure you stay low and do not get tangled with either, because bad things will happen. If for some reason you ever find yourself in a helicopter and it has crashed, then make sure you run towards the front and not the tail, because of that second tail rudder. That could be very problematic. We were going through these safety tips when we were getting started, and I had to laugh, and I said, isn't it funny? I love plane and helicopter talks, because they always start with, these are all the ways you could die, these are the things you'll need to do. Alright, let's go fly that helicopter. We do the same thing when we take people in the yak. We say, here's your parachute, if you have to get out, here's how you deploy it, here's how you unbuckle your 5-point harness, and oh, by the way, here's the yak bag in the yak in case it's too choppy for you. So, it's all the unpleasant things you have to know for safety that hope never happen, but it's all part of it. but I think helicopters may be a little more fun than planes. So, is there a helicopter in our future? Who knows? But the important part is that we follow the adventures in our hearts. Phil, as you know, loves flying. Powered paragliders, Yak 52, now maybe helicopters, we'll see. But always follow the adventures in your heart. This is our new adventure, and we'll see where this experience takes us. Get out there. Awesome adventures await.